Okay, so AI is everywhere, right? We're all hearing about how it's changing everything. But what's the real deal for a product owner? Is it a threat? Or is it maybe the most powerful tool you've ever had? Today, let's break down how AI is becoming an essential co-pilot for your work.
All right, let's just cut to the chase. This is the big one, isn't it? The question on pretty much every product owner's mind. So seriously, what's the answer? Well, the answer, and this is really important, comes down to one key difference. An AI performs tasks, but a product owner holds accountability. See, an AI can summarize a dozen interview notes in seconds or organize a messy backlog. But only you can own the product strategy. Only you can be truly accountable for customer value, and only you can make those final critical decisions. It's not about being replaced. It's about getting a partner.
So, let's really dig in and just dismantle this whole AI takeover myth, shall we? We're going to get clear on the difference between an agent that automates and an owner who's accountable.
And to really get a handle on this partnership, it actually helps to pop the hood and see how this stuff works. And don't worry, this isn't some kind of black magic. It's actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. Okay, so it all kicks off with this little thing called a token. The easiest way to think about them? Then like Lego bricks, but for language. So when you type in a request, the AI isn't reading it like you or I would. Nope, it's just seeing a long string of these tokens. That's its entire world. So the whole process is actually pretty simple, right? You write a prompt, the AI shatters it into all those tokens, and then it just makes a really educated guess about which tokens are most likely to come next to form an answer. That's it. It's not thinking like a human, it's just a super-powered pattern-matching machine. Now, the specific kind of AI we're usually talking about here is generative AI. And the name says it all. It generates stuff. It doesn't just analyze the data you give it. It actually creates brand new content from scratch, whether that's text, an image, or even code. Okay, so enough of the theory. Let's get into the good stuff. How can you actually use this as your new assistant, like starting today? And this is where things get really exciting. I mean, just imagine this. You take hours and hours of user interview transcripts, feed them to an AI, and bam, you get a perfect summary of all the key pain points in what, a few minutes? It can draft user stories for you, help you spot themes in customer feedback, and even help clean up your backlog. This isn't about the AI doing your job, it's about the AI doing the boring, tedious parts of your job so you can focus on the important stuff. And hey, here's a little pro tip you can use right away. When you feed the AI this classic structured format, you're not leaving it to guess. You're guiding it, you're giving it guardrails, which means you get a much better, much more useful starting point that you can then polish up. And that's really the superpower here, isn't it? It's all about accelerating how fast you can get to those aha moments. You're spotting patterns and frustrations across huge amounts of data way faster than any person or team ever could. Okay. And this brings us to what might be the most critical part of this whole conversation. We've talked a lot about what AI can do, but now let's talk about where it hits a wall, because that's where you, the product owner, become completely irreplaceable. Look, an AI can sort your backlog. It can suggest priorities. It can draft all the items you want, but it can never make that final call on what the team should build next. That's on you. The AI supports, but you prioritize, period. That accountability, it's 100% human. And here's exactly why. An AI has zero strategic judgment. It doesn't get the why behind the business goals. It doesn't have real empathy. It can't feel a customer's frustration. It has absolutely no moral compass. Your ability to communicate the product goal, your deep customer context, and your final decision-making authority, these are the things that make you invaluable. And a huge part of that human judgment is being the gatekeeper for the data that feeds the AI. You have to be the one asking the tough questions like, hey, is the data we're training this on actually biased? Because remember, garbage in, garbage out. The AI is just a mirror reflecting the data it was given. And this is exactly where your accountability as a PO kicks in. If you notice the AI's suggestions seem a little off, or maybe they're ignoring a whole segment of your users, it's your job to dig in, to evaluate that training data, and to take action. This isn't just a tech problem. It's a fundamental part of your accountability for the product. It's so important to remember. AI is just a tool. A powerful one, for sure, but it doesn't change your core Scrum accountabilities one bit. You are still the one person accountable for making sure the backlog is in great shape and that the team is ready for sprint planning. The AI helps you get there, but the buck stops with you.
So where does this all leave us? As we start to wrap this up, let's reframe what the future of product ownership looks like. This isn't about your role getting smaller. It's about it getting bigger, more strategic, more impactful. It's about becoming an empowered product owner.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with that perfect Copilot metaphor. Think of it this way. Your AI Copilot is handling the repetitive tasks, the data crunching, the first drafts. But you are the pilot in command. You are the one setting the destination, making the strategic calls, and ultimately, you're the one responsible for delivering that customer value.
And that, right there, is the big win. By letting your AI Copilot handle all that low-value, repetitive stuff, you free up your most valuable resource, your time and your brainpower. That means way more time focusing on strategy, on vision, on talking to customers, and way less time just managing lists.
Look, this isn't some far-off future tech. It's here, right now. It's ready to go. So the only question left is for you. Your AI Copilot is sitting in the cockpit, ready for takeoff. So where are you going to fly first?